Welcome to the Mike Davis Show. It is Thursday, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, December 13th.
Yay!
We don't do perfect shows here. We just do shows.
Yay!
Because we have fun.
Absolutely.
Not worrying about perfection, and I can make sure of that right now. All right. We have all kinds of great guest hosts with us, and we have an event today.
We do.
That some of us thought was scheduled yesterday, but just read the week wrong, right? We have a whole schedule of things going on.
What did I say
in the week.
yesterday? I said I'm always late.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of cool things. Hey, do we want to turn on the Mike Davis Show?
We go do it. We just move it in.
Yeah. I know we have
Nobody
this
saw that
beautiful
yet.
tree
Yeah.
Nobody saw that
that
yet.
surprisingly has not one beer can, but it does have Pete Melfi.
It does.
Right there is
Right
Pete
there.
Melfi, baby.
Very nice.
Why do I feel like Pete's looking over our shoulder?
It does
He
have
always
Amanda's
is.
family here on the side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does say with Amanda on the
Yeah,
floor.
so
That was my
you can tell that Davey's been in here watching TV because Taylor Swift popped up.
Yes,
Oh, it's her
that is true.
birthday today.
It is
Happy
her
birthday, Taylor.
Did you take my gingerbread?
Oh,
think
well,
he
I
was
was going to
gonna
move it
talk
for
about
the
it.
segment, but do you want it right now?
Well, no, I was just going to thank Amanda for the...
Oh.
What is
Yes.
this, Amanda?
That is a gingerbread kit. So I guess I'll put the camera on me. Hey, that is a gingerbread kit. And my husband made gingerbread from scratch. Every year we do a little gingerbread house village. And so there's icing to glue the pieces together. That's what you're holding right now is the icing.
Is it edible?
Yes.
Well, it might not.
There's
it may
an
or may not
extra-
glue the pieces together.
So there's an
It may
extra
go
bag of
on the
icing.
pieces.
The bag of icing with the Ziploc is what you can eat. That's the one you use to build the house. Yes.
Right.
And there,
This is the one you can eat.
yes.
Okay. All
You can
right.
eat both of them.
This
but
builds
I'm
the house. You see
telling
the
It's
pipe? This is called
important to
piping.
know that.
And then those
think of
are-
caulk like this. I mean, you
there's
got to speak
extra-
construction, Amanda.
Yes,
You're not
I know.
speaking in construction.
I'm trying. There's extra
It's called
candy canes
mortar.
if
That's
you
called
want.
mortar.
Oh,
Yes.
is it called
It's called mortar. Thank you very much. I do know construction. I know a little bit about it.
Oh man, I barely know what a hammer is. Go ahead.
So the candy canes are last year's candy canes. So I wouldn't recommend eating them, but you can use them for decoration.
They're for aesthetic. Yes,
Yes.
very nice. Very nice.
It's
yes.
for the feel. There you go. That's what that is, and
Very
you are
large.
welcome.
There we go. I
Louis,
gotta get into
Louis
the
made that
frame
for
here.
you.
Perfect. Monitors up. Frame is
Yes.
perfect.
Famous kid. Oh, it's
Yeah.
great.
It's great.
We should start the show now.
Go.
Now that we got that, let's start the show. And speaking of that, A to Z, roofing and waterproofing. They've been serving St. Johns County for over 20 years. They give you a free estimate if you give them a call. You can call them at 669-8037. They offer painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties up to 25 years, and they offer shingle roofs with warranties up to 50 years. They also install tile roofing, the famous cedar shake shingles, and designer roofing and flat roof coverings. Give Chuck McCone a call, 669-8037. A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing. They're great folks. They help everybody in the community and even other communities.
They do, absolutely. And you know who else helps? Powell Heating and Air Conditioning. They are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including nights and weekends, also holidays.
Oh.
But give them a call before Christmas because you want to make sure your heating is right and your AC is right. We're Florida. We use both on the same day. They are dedicated to customer service, and they have been. That is evident in everything that they do from the moment they answer your call until the time they leave your home. They are working to make you comfortable and confident about the care and service you receive from Powell. They have 10 plus trucks, a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked
Wow.
with parts and equipment. They are ready to serve you around the clock, and they service all heating and air conditioning brands.
That's a full force there.
That is.
Hey, South State Bank. The team at South State Bank is a group of bankers that you can count on. Their approach to building long-term relationships with their customers is the best in the business. If you're looking for a banking relationship you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They've got 3 convenient locations for you to serve, or for them to serve you. Excuse me, baby. State Road 312, State Road 16, and the beach. Visit their website, southstatebank.com. Member FDIC. We love them at South State Bank.
And Land Title of America, whether you realize it or not, when you refinance a sale or purchase of a home, there's a title company involved. Don't get stuck with some out-of-town title company who doesn't give a crap when you're faced with challenges. Stay local. Choose Land Title of America. Just call or text Stephen Collins, 904-501-4481. He specializes in all types of real estate transactions. Land Title, your local title company, ensuring America's land one title at a time because
They give a crap crap.
Yes,
Yeah.
And unlike the morning show, we give you the news here. We give you
Shots
the
fired.
news
The real deal.
about the King Tide.
Very
You gotta
nervous.
let me finish the sentence, Barbara Jean.
Yeah. Very nervous to talk about the King Tide.
So we still have the King Tide, the 14th and the 15th. It was out there today. It wasn't. It was a little bad, but I didn't see cars flooded anywhere.
I have a feeling this weekend is going to be a washout.
3 inches of rain maybe this weekend.
Right? If not more.
Two to 3 inches of rain, really windy. However, for those surfers out there, at some point in time, that wind is going to turn from an onshore wind, building a big sizable swell, to an offshore wind, cleaning up a big sizable swell. And Sunday afternoon and Monday morning could be really fun surf.
Oh, wow.
Don't know how cold it's going to be. Don't know what that's going to be. But you know what? If it's really clean surf, we're going to surf anyway because we just ignore the cold.
Monday morning, like around like 9:04 a.m.
About 9:04 a.m., the waves should be the best.
Perfect.
That's exactly right. Right after the morning show, paddle out.
Yeah.
That's how you do that, right?
Actually, no, we'll be off. That's our time.
We're taking the day off. So
you
we did
guys,
go surfing
we're
earlier.
so proud of this year. It has been an
Yes.
exceptionally. We're going to
It has
cover
been.
500 shows and interviews. That's just insanely incredible.
Yes.
It's totally a marathon of love, and it's so much fun.
And Davey, Clay made a comment about the candy canes being last year's candy canes. I want you to know I am marked safe from candy canes. I do not eat them.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a kid. It's like candy canes and candy corn.
Right.
No. Absolutely not. No.
This is where we find common ground.
Yes, we
Perfect.
do. Right
Yes.
here.
There are cherry flavored candy canes in there and peppermint flavored candy canes because half of my family will not eat peppermint, myself included, and the other half love peppermint.
I'm not discriminating against any type of candy cane. I dislike them all. I don't care what flavor. Maybe a beef jerky candy cane.
I also like candy corn.
No. No candy corn either. You can have all of that.
The cheese that's
Can
alone.
every bit of that. I did get Barbara Jean's attention.
Ah, good. We love you, Boo.
Gotta let
She
me
was
finish.
texting you right then.
Listen, Barbara Jean, we're a little more exciting here. We're going to score a few more points than the Minnesota Vikings did. But they did win.
Yeah.
They did win. They beat Oakland. Barbara Jean's team is, after losing their quarterback, is in playoff contention.
I will tell you, Barbara
playoff
Jean's
contention.
team has a really awesome way to celebrate touchdowns. They do a lot of dance moves and like, if you see the celebration part, they're pretty extraordinary.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I like
I need to
seeing
send some
a
of
man
these
dance.
to you. You'll be like, okay, wow.
Hey,
Yeah. I like it.
in Minnesota in winter, you got time to do things
Well,
indoors.
you know.
You got time to do things indoors. I'm
So
just
as a
saying.
swimmer, I was being recruited to go to University of Minnesota.
Yes.
And it's like, you know how it's like like you walk to class with tunnels because it's so cold. I was like,
Sounds so exciting.
yeah, I couldn't do it. Couldn't
My
do it.
campus on Long Island had a hill in the middle of it. And so my first winter there, I realized you can, in fact, walk uphill both ways in the snow to class.
That is
and I
great.
did do that. And I did it in flip-flops, wearing socks with my flip-flops.
That's
I
a
had
Florida
toe
girl.
socks with my
That's a
flip-flops.
Florida girl at heart.
I'm so proud of you right now. I've never been not recovering from surgery, not
Yep.
parenting 3 kids, not being married to
It's
Louis,
flip-flops
not all
in the
the
snow.
That is impressive.
Right there. Yes.
Yes.
Love that.
I finally have the imprimatur of class and
Finally.
dignity.
Finally, the respect I deserve for wearing socks and flip flops in the winter up north. Yes.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yes. Oh, I got to do some. I realized I got to want. What?
What happened?
Clay's talking about killing a bottle.
Okay, so we had
Don't do
wine
that
tasting.
alone.
We had wine tasting
Yeah, don't do that
Wednesday.
alone, buddy.
We had wine tasting Wednesday
Yeah.
today with Ben 39 Extraordinary
I saw
People.
that.
And we had this whole taste. We had a champagne, we had a Chardonnay, and then we had a red that we went through. Clay was gifted the champagne, so you could take the whole bottle home. So yeah, you enjoy that, brother. That was a fantastic bottle. That was good.
Bring it
Clay-
for Christmas Eve so we have something to drink. We don't have to wander the city.
He's gonna kill it tonight. We don't want to lose the effervescence. We'll buy another bottle,
open?
20% off with a 904 now
open?
discount. Thank you.
I can see somewhere out there, some female fan of Clay's is screaming, "Pour some sugar on me."
Yes, that That is
I
the
can
best
so
song.
hear that,
Oh.
Clay. As you are trying to open that bottle, all of our female fans are just like, someone in there typed that in the comments.
That was the beginning song of Sunday School Spin last week, was Pour Some Sugar on Me. You always start with a strong stripper song, and that really was the one that just gets them going. Yeah,
Yes.
let's go.
I worked for a local wine purveyor in town, and there might have been a late night Christmas party where it was raining, and one of the warehouse guys did a dance to Pour Some Sugar on Me with lots of bubbles.
Oh.
It was quite an event.
Is he single?
I have it recorded.
Oh,
I'll let you
wonderful.
see it.
On record. I like it.
Can you put a bow around that and
Yeah.
send it to Davey on Christmas?
That'll be
That
so
and a
nice.
planter.
Yeah, just
That's
send that.
fun.
You
Planter's on
got
the way.
Davey's present. You just
I think
figured it
that's
out.
perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Perfect.
That $300 handbag, take that back. Just send
Yeah,
the
we
video.
don't need it. No.
Birkin wouldn't take my calls.
No,
to
300,
do
that's not
that.
my level. Call me when you get 2 commas in that price point.
All right. Oh, that's too funny. That is too funny. All right. So, Amanda, yesterday we tried to do a serious thing, which
Yes.
really isn't going to be serious because we don't take anything seriously.
don't take anything
right?
seriously.
Nothing. You came up with the idea
Yep.
because yesterday was what?
No, it's not yesterday. Okay, so
Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday is the 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party. And so I'm in my Boston Tea Party shirt. I forgot to wear
It's
it
super
yesterday.
cute.
So it's Kismet spilling the tea since 1773. All right. So there is a Boston Tea Party museum.
Yes.
You can go to a ship. You can go to a museum. You can recreate the whole experience. And as a result of doing research on the Boston Tea Party, I realized that there was a surviving chest that made its way. So it was a big deal. Like, no one's taking any tea off of this ship. We can talk about Boston Tea Party history if you want to. I'm a total
Oh, we're
history
going to.
dork.
There's a test
So-
coming up later.
There is. So there was a chest that made its way across the water and into a marsh, and a teenager by the name of John Robinson found that chest in the marsh on his family's property. And so he held on to it, and he went and served in the American Revolution. So they kind of hid it for a while. He went and served in the American Revolution. And when he came back, they brought it out and they started telling the story about it. So this is a recreation of the Robinson half chest.
Oh.
So it stayed in the family through, it was passed on through the family for forever. And it finally made its way back to the Boston Tea Party Museum. So you guys can look at that if you want to. So it has a lovely aroma.
Smells like wood.
It also has a favorite aroma of Davey's. It has a little game board on the bottom, which
Ignoramus.
they sell game boards. It's not like the tea.
I'm
the
always
tea
bad with that, though, you
or
know?
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, right?
It's one of those things you have to practice. And so they sell this little Robinson tea chest at the museum with all of the teas that were destroyed that day.
So, hang on. Was this the actual size?
No.
Okay, I was
That's-
hoping not because they
that's a
didn't even take
miniature
that many
model.
people to throw these overboard.
Really?
No, it wouldn't. I have a picture of the actual one. I can put it up.
Yeah, we want to see a picture of the actual chest.
Okay.
This is interesting, though.
I have all
It
kinds
is.
of things pulled up here. So let me see if I can get it. So it's actually on display in the Boston Tea Party Museum. And
Robinson Tea Chest. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So-
December 16th, 1773.
that's when the Boston
250
Tea
years
Party
ago on
happened.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Look at me do the math.
Look at
Amanda already gave me the answer.
God bless. You're better than you than me.
So they have it on display at
So
the
we're
Boston Tea
older
Party
than
Museum.
the Tea Party, our town.
Yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's the chest on display. You can't really see the flowers on it, but it does have the flowers. They have it over the water there. So they've carried on the tradition, and I thought it would be fun for us to do a tasting of the teas that were destroyed. So,
This is
With-
very
With
exclusive.
or without bourbon?
well, you can do bourbon later.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So
so-
this is just straight up tea.
This is straight up tea.
Got it.
So there were green teas and black teas
Okay.
on the ships
Really?
that were destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they were produced in a way that's a little different than how we produce teas today. And so I have the names of the teas and I have the number of chests that were destroyed of that variety.
Oh, wow.
So I have Singlo. We'll start with a curled green tea.
This is curled green.
Yeah. So I want to pour it in here so we can
Okay. So we're
add it to our
merging.
teacups. So we can do a little taste.
Oh, I
I've got
see how-
that bucket there in case you want to dump it.
Okay.
because it may or
Where's
may
your
not be
teacup?
fun.
My teacup is right here, sir.
Oh, shit.
So we have
That is all right.
teas and teacups and saucers.
Okay.
It's very fancy. So I
we're
figured we
falling
could do
apart
a
here in
little.
studio.
We can smell it. We can.
Sift it, just like
Yeah.
a wine tasting.
I was about to go into
We're
a
doing a
song
tea
lyric
tasting.
that Davey would know better than me.
Smells like Lipton.
It better
Does
not.
it? You're supposed to slurp it, right?
Whenever you taste anything, you're supposed to
Very
take it,
earthy.
taste it in
I
3
taste
sips.
grass. I taste dirt.
So this is a curled green tea. 60 chests of this were destroyed.
I can
On
see
that
why. Just kidding.
I got to tell you, this isn't very strong.
It's green tea. It's not supposed to be steeped very long.
Yeah, it's green tea.
It's a very...
Where did this tea come from?
It's mild. So tea would come from China, but
China.
the problem, the reason the Boston Tea Party happened was because Parliament made a law that the American colonies were only allowed to get tea from them. And the second that tea touched American soil, they had to pay taxes on it. So whether people bought it or not. So you could boycott British tea and say, I'm not gonna buy your tea. But the second it touched American soil, they had to pay taxes on it.
Oh.
And so the Americans were like, no, we're not doing this. You keep levying all these taxes on us to pay for your wars in Europe that we have no involvement in, and we don't support you even fighting.
Right, does
And
that
so-
sound like modern times?
Yes.
That's very
so
interesting.
I'm making a mess. And so they
That's right. The morning crew has an entire cleanup crew that does working here.
I didn't get that sponsor yet.
I'd like you to meet the morning crew cleanup crew right here next to me to the
I'm
left.
working on Molly Mates.
that
It
would
didn't
be
happen
Davey.
yet.
So I've got another green tea for us to taste.
Okay.
So yes, that's why there was a standoff with the ship, because they didn't want it to touch American soil because they didn't want to pay those taxes. And so in Philadelphia, they had successfully gotten the inspectors to resign and the ships went back. In Boston, there was a standoff. And the governor, who had ties to England, his sons were inspectors. And so they were all kind of in cahoots on this whole thing. And so there was the American experience was this protest going to fall in Boston? So
This is a little bit more full bodied, the second one.
So this is Hyson.
Okay.
This is 15 chests were destroyed at this one.
Oh, only 15. This one's a nice one. I like this better than the first.
I think the guys on the ship drank this one on the way over because it tasted better than the other one. That's why there were less boxes of it when I got there.
Oh. That's very nice.
Yeah, that one's light. And that's what it says.
I think it's
light.
heavier than the first.
It's got a
Hyson.
little, yeah, this is Hyson, and we tried Single first.
Okay.
So thoughts? We like
And
this
there's
one?
75 of these?
No, 15 were
15 were
destroyed.
destroyed. So at this point, we're up to 75 chests destroyed because 60 of the Single and 15 of the Hyson were destroyed.
Can you make this a sun tea, or am I just being...
You can have the rest of it if you want.
No, I'm just thinking, like, could you make
yeah.
like a sun tea out of this?
With
or
green
something?
tea, you can steep it hot or cold. So you can have the rest of that if
Very
you want another
special.
cup.
Thank you.
Yes.
Merry
says-
Christmas.
Boston Tea Party Ships
Merry
and Museum. This is so
Christmas,
nice.
Christmas,
Merry-
All right, so we'll move into the black teas, and I think we'll go to Bohea next. Now, this is a black tea. It's lightly smoky. 240 chests of this were destroyed.
Oh, wow. They said this one's a special one.
So people have made the
Notice how the pours are already heavier on Amanda's side?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
She's a-
I mean,
I
yeah.
a
organized
big-
this party.
Yes.
Big tea connoisseur.
Big tea connoisseur. Thank you very much.
My
sir.
pleasure. Oops. Yep, got it on the towel.
So this is the Bahia. It's supposed to be lightly smoky.
Oh,
black
it's smoky.
tea blend.
You can smell the smoke
Yeah.
in this.
Oh, man. I don't know.
Wait
if
till
I
we
can
get
do
to the
it.
last one. The last one's super smoky.
Is that made with the cannabis or something?
Not that kind of smoke.
Not
Oh,
that.
this is smoky.
Yeah.
I smelled it before I even tasted it. Jeez.
Okay, the green teas were really good.
Yeah, this one.
I like this one.
This one tastes
No,
like
no,
Grandpa's armpit or something.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, I ate enough smoke from my aunts
Interesting
and
that I
uncles
like
that
it.
get
He
together.
says it's
Yeah.
Grandpa's
armpit.
That's definitely like a Pall
Hey,
Mall.
dump that out in that thing
You
for me,
got
would
it.
you, buddy?
In
Thank
the
you.
spittoon.
Yeah, put that in,
In
the
the dump
spittoon.
bucket.
Yeah.
Notice it's a champagne dump bucket.
Yeah, I can't do. I actually tasted. There's a scotch that is made at the northernmost place in Scotland, and it's made with peat moss is involved in the process.
Pete Melfi?
Pete Moss. Pete Moss. Pete's brother,
Okay.
cousin, right, who will not be coming to Florida. Look how Davey is.
You don't want to do that now. It's going to ruin the next one.
No, that's my palate cleanser.
Oh, that's too funny. So
Rude.
I am sponsored by Listerine Spray, just letting everyone know.
I
Everyone
didn't
knows that
have
on
a
the morning.
camera on you when you did that.
That's okay. They're used to that in the morning show because I had to do spam taste testing from your friend.
yeah, so that scotch, when it's probably 20 times more smoky than what we just smelled with the tea.
Yeah.
That's when you take a sip of it, it feels like you're drinking a cigar.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm like,
I definitely will give that to you. Yeah.
I can't do that. I what do we got next?
All right. So this is Kongu. So this is black tea.
I beg your pardon.
I know. It's a black tea of high mastery. 15 chests were destroyed of
This is
one.
definitely one for me.
I can
That's
tell you
high
this is going to be good because there was only 15 chests of it.
Right. And that's the why I like the
High is
Hyson.
in the name.
Yeah. Hyson was good.
Kongu. It's a high mastery tea.
Is this going to be smoky as well?
So this one is the only black tea that's not described as smoky, but they all smell smoky.
Oh,
to me.
this is smoky.
Yeah, that's smoky. Apparently, smoke was used in the process of this stuff.
They are really
Well,
into
in the early days, I've got tea on my Tea Party shirt. They didn't have a lot of ways to preserve things, so smoking was one of the ways to preserve
Now I
things.
get a hint of like cinnamon or something, some sort of like spice at the end. Maybe it's a little nutmeg.
I'm getting a little Camel or Marlboro out of this.
Oh, God bless you. Jeez. Wow.
There's just a lot of
Tastes like drinking a cigar. Thank you, BJ.
Yeah, that's what that scotch tastes like. I was
It's a
like,
little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I can, some of these I can see why we threw it off.
So we threw it off because we were like, no, you can't impose these taxes on us without our consent. We have no say in the matter, and it's for things that we don't agree with to begin with. And also, you're making it so we can't avoid paying them by charging them the second they hit the ground. So there's a standoff in Boston. Boston Harbor is shut down. There's 3 ships that are in the harbor, right? And I'm sure your trivia will have to name the ships, I'm sure.
No, I'm much true and false.
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
That's all I know.
Wrong 3
That's
ships.
it.
That and the Carnival Cruise Line. That's all I've got for you here, dear.
Destiny. It was Destiny.
Right.
Hornet, Lexington, and Enterprise.
And Mystic Mania.
So now we've got our the governor and all of the people involved in the decision to let these crates are all connected with Boston, right?
Wait, DeSantis was not involved with this?
Not
No.
involved with
Okay.
this. Way predates him. So the Sons of Liberty, they keep trying to petition to Hutcherson, I think is his name, to say, no, we got to send these ships back. They're not coming. This is not happening. And he wouldn't do it. And so it finally comes down to they've lobbied, they've made all of their arguments, and he decides against them and says that the ship's going to land tomorrow. And so Sons of Liberty are out of options at that point. I love the one that Clay named.
Yeah, me too. Definitely reminds me of that.
That is accurate, Clay. That's the only one I can remember, too. So they have one night and one night only. So people have called the Boston Tea Party a riot. The reason I would argue that it's not a riot is that the person that owned the ship sided with the American colonists, and he wanted nothing to do with it, but he wasn't allowed to go, or one of the ship owners wasn't allowed to turn back.
Right.
He was under the employ of the British government, and so he's like, personally, I agree
He's
with
there
you guys,
already. What's he going to do?
but,
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, they were going to
And
ban
so
him from Twitter if he didn't go.
Oh, God bless.
Yes.
If I could turn
And so
back time.
They did nothing to the ship. They did nothing to anybody. The only thing that was damaged was the tea. And there was a pact that none of this tea was going to touch ground, because if any of it, even a fragment of a leaf, touched ground on American soil, they're paying taxes for all of it.
Wow.
And so they went in, they asked for the tea. They demanded rather strongly. It was immediately given to them by the people on the ship. And the only thing they destroyed was the tea. One of the guys was found to have tea in his pockets. He was hiding tea in his pockets.
Jeez.
So they stripped him naked on the ship,
Okay.
threw his clothes overboard, and sent him home naked in his shame to deal.
Now, see, modern day now, people hide things in cavities, if you catch my drift. Yeah.
Hang on. That was a stripper story for Barbara Jean.
Oh, there it is.
Just saying, that was
There
our
it
stripper
is.
story of the day for Barbara
We're
Jean.
counting it, Barbara
All
Jean.
done,
Yes.
Barbara Jean.
Yeah, we are
got you,
counting
boo.
out Barbara Jean. Check box.
So we'll do-
Stripper
Department.
story is done.
Done.
So that's why they had to destroy the tea, because they weren't going to fund these British wars. They weren't going to submit to this unfair taxation, and the tea couldn't go anywhere else other than back to Britain, and they were left with no other options. They weren't allowed to send it back.
I have a comment.
Yes,
If I had been in
go.
the pre-planning stage of this boarding of the ship,
Yeah, you.
I would have just said, hey, these guys have been on the ship a really long time.
Yeah.
So we need to either bring women or we need to bring booze. And then we'll just give it to them and we'll say, you guys can drink all this. We're going to throw this stuff overboard. The sailors are like, go right ahead. You just have to know how to talk to your audience.
It's all about marketing.
Yes, it's all about marketing.
You're right. It
Look, I
truly
know if we
is.
came on board, so we're going to throw this overboard. You guys would be mad because you've been carrying it around the ocean for a
Yeah.
long time. But we brought some parting gifts for you.
Well, at that point, they were stuck. So
Yeah.
they just wanted something to happen so that they could go make their money somewhere else.
This one's nicer.
So this is
I'd have pancakes with
Sochong.
this. Wait,
Sochong?
what?
Souchong.
Oh, Sochong.
Sochong.
Yeah.
It's smoky black tea. 10 chests were destroyed of this.
This is actually the best of the best so far
Of the
Okay, good.
black.
of the black.
Yeah.
The greens were very mellow.
Greens were mellow,
well, we
yellow.
have to
Yeah.
start light and go heavier.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Definitely need some bourbon. That would really be a good.
I
Pairing.
made that suggestion early on,
Would
but
have
was
been a great
rebuffed.
pairing.
we have to taste it
But I was
first.
completely
You can
rebuffed.
Yeah.
Brew whatever you
My
want in that
sister's
bourbon.
calling, so should we answer the phone?
If you
No,
want
we're not going to answer the phone with my sister. So
Why? She has secrets?
no, it's just not a good.
I
day
do
to-
like, I just watched how you do that. He sends the courtesy text, like, I'll call you right back.
Yes,
That
he
is
does.
nice. I just send you right to voicemail. Figure it out.
He has one just for Darcy too.
And
Oh.
occasionally, I accidentally send that to other people, and they wonder why is he calling me Darcy and why does he love me so much?
That's so
So does
funny.
anyone want any
Yes.
of the leftover teas? There's like enough to brew 1 cup.
No, I already have to pee.
Okay.
No.
I mean for later. Go home and brew it yourself.
So that was
right.
the last one.
That was the last one. That's all 5.
The smoky ones can go.
Yeah.
No.
Right, they can go. And I have a couple of comments, if I may.
Okay,
Okay.
go for it.
I'm going to finish that one. That's
Okay.
actually not bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll have to pee in about 20 seconds
Right,
too.
exactly. Where it depends.
Tea goes through me faster than anything else.
Okay.
True.
Yes, I'm not kidding.
Things we're learning.
I can drink a gallon of water and I'm like, okay.
Right.
I can drink 1 glass of tea and I'm running to the bathroom 3 times in 15
It's
minutes.
because it's with the southern, very southern thing to have tea.
Yes.
Clay got the better end of the deal today.
Okay.
Clay got champagne.
Hey, Clay got
Right.
really
Clay,
incredible champagne.
I mean, in the
Well, you know.
world of getting the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place trophy, Clay got them all today.
Like beyond Veuve
Yes.
Clicquot. He got
Oh,
like
yeah.
literally like a very special bottle today.
Clay
yeah.
rocked
and
it.
deserves
And
it.
you know, I had to live stream a preschool Christmas concert by myself so
Ooh,
that
wow.
Clay could drink wine.
Wow.
Not fair.
And how about
Ah,
that?
boy.
I got the short end of the stick on that one.
No, that was, and the other one, I think I understand the battle cry of the colonists now. Give me coffee or give me death. I
Yeah.
fully understand it now.
So Americans drink coffee because it was patriotic to drink coffee.
Yes.
You don't want to drink that British tea. And so that's why coffee became a thing, because of the American Revolution and our refusal, because tea became such a hot button issue, that it was our refusal to drink tea completely. And so to replace it, we started drinking coffee.
Wow. The more you know.
The more you
And you know where you get the coffee from?
This is
It comes
South
from-
America.
It comes from Central and South America.
Yes, my
Which was
people.
controlled by who?
Fidel Castro.
The Spanish.
Spanish,
He was
yeah.
later.
He was
He was later.
But the Spanish freed the slaves.
Yes.
Which was pretty cool. The story of Fort Mose, insert here. I mean, like, you know, if
Yeah.
you wanted to move here, you would be free, but you just have to convert to Catholicism, which was incredible. I had no idea about Fort Mose until I started working on 904. I mean, honestly, that was an incredible story.
I've had some of the people involved in that on the show, right? And so St.
TJ,
Augustine, yes. And there's such a mixed history racially in St. Augustine. You have that story, which is one of the most uplifting ones. You have the Sisters of St. Joseph's teaching the young black kids to read and to
Yeah.
write at St. Basil. And then you have all of the craziness that went on in the 60s, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, we have this incredible mixed history of at times doing the very right thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And at
yeah.
other times, man, how can we be so stupid? it.
Well, real quick, I'd hate to go down a rabbit hole, but during the Prohibition, we were booming with booze and drugs and sex and all that in St. Augustine.
Well, because we had a quick egress to the water, and so you could easily smuggle it in.
You could wash afterwards?
Interesting,
Yeah, you could. Any place on the water had a quick way to smuggle it in and smuggle it out.
If you look at the different street names out in the West King neighborhood, you'll see like Blanche Street, Helen. They're all names after madams that own property and land out there. So like literally like Maracuya is,
town.
and I love my friends over at Maracuya who just opened up that beautiful coffee bar on West King.
Yep.
But that used to be like a little whorehouse. Like seriously. I mean, we celebrate. They talk about it all over their socials. It's not
no, there's to be a competition for that
It's
over
not
the
a
years.
secret.
You'd have to rank them by decade, Amanda.
Yeah.
There's been a few.
I believe it.
There's been a few.
I have a non sequitur that personally annoyed me, and so I'm just going to rant on this. So I had to go to Walmart. Part of the reason why we couldn't do this yesterday is that they're loose leaf teas, and I didn't know that because I didn't want them to go bad, so I didn't open it immediately. So I didn't open it until right before we went live, and then it was like, oh no, guys, we can't do this.
Pivot.
So I had to get all these tea balls, right?
Yeah.
And so some of them have little things that you can hook onto the mugs. So these are the ones I got from Walmart. I got 2 of them.
Okay.
Because I was able to source
Looks
others.
like some kind of shark or
So,
something. Yeah.
Well, that's what the packaging says. Shark.
Yeah.
But Mike is a surfer. And so can you tell me why it's not a shark, Mike?
Because it's a dolphin.
It's a dolphin.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you know
Because the
that?
tail is turned the wrong way.
Yeah. The tail is flat.
Said the marine biologist.
Yes.
Oh my God. Really?
Mrs. Vandelay, Mrs. Art Vandelay is telling us that as a marine biologist,
I
that
get
is
shark
not.
because the rivets on the side.
Yes. So they added gills to it.
Okay.
And they call it shark. I mean, they're calling it shark.
It's an
but they've
interpretation,
clearly
Amanda.
Never seen a shark
Oh.
before, because if you've ever been in the water with one of these animals,
No.
you know that when you see a dorsal fin, you look for that tail. And if you don't see the point on the tail, you know it's a mammal.
Maybe that's what you're looking
and
for,
it's
but as
safe.
surfers, when we see the dorsal fin, we're looking for the teeth.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
Have you ever had a
You don't
moment?
have to worry
you ever
about
had a
the
moment
teeth.
out there?
You want to know which one would you like to know about?
Really? Like, are you like? Is your heart in
Yeah.
your mouth in that moment?
So that probably I've had a couple. I had a big hammerhead swim under my surfboard one time,
Holy guacamole!
and had I put my hand
down
in the
at
water
Marineland?
paddling in my normal stroke, I would have hit the dorsal fin because the dorsal fin is about that far below the water, and then. It went past me towards the beach, turned parallel to the beach, and then the fin started coming out of the water, and the fin got up about that far out. So that was a pretty good size one. And then
What do you do? Do you just make yourself really small on the board
I
and just?
prayed.
Oh
I
yeah,
started
yeah,
praying.
yeah.
I said, God, just get me in, and I belly rode a wave all the way in. I felt very fortunate.
God bless
the
you.
other time, I was at the pier on the south side of the pier surfing. And I was paddling for a wave. I missed the wave. The water was super clear that day. You could see the bottom, which you rarely ever get in St. Augustine. And I went to turn around and paddle back out to the lineup, and I felt something bump the bottom of my board from behind on the tail section.
My whole life.
And
Go
so
ahead,
I'm
yeah.
like, I stopped paddling, and I'm like, in a nanosecond, about 8,000 things went through my brain.
God bless you.
One of them was, do I turn my head or do I turn the board? What do I do next? And before I could do anything, the dorsal fin popped right up in front of me.
Oh my goodness.
And then the tail does this big swoosh, water everywhere.
Ugh.
And the shark just went out to sea. And I looked at my buddies in the lineup and said, I'm done. I'm going in today. I have
That
finished
was-
surfing for the day.
That was angels protecting you
I'm done.
on that.
So
yeah.
so yes, you see them a bunch. I've seen smaller ones. I got bit by one time.
Oh really?
It was about this. It was a shark that was this long, which
I hate that.
it got hung up in my lycra shirt. I was trying to get it off my shirt, and it bit my finger. But I went home that night and went, wait a minute. Odds of getting bit by a shark twice in a lifetime.
Right.
I mean, I just checked Survive Lightning
Of course
you
for
win numbers
surfers,
questions.
Right? I'm like, yes, I
Look
got
at this. Mike Davis, Shark Survivor.
Shark Survivor.
I like that.
It was the smallest shark ever. I laughed, so I was like, I can't believe that
We don't need to
happened.
tell people that. It's marketing.
Cannot believe. All right. The other, I cannot believe all the research you did on the Boston Tea Party, and you somehow thought that back then the teas came in tea bags.
Well, they're
I'm
selling
ju-
it in a souvenir box.
It's authentic.
It's a souvenir box.
tea.
Everything else on their website is sold in a tea bag,
I
except
can't
for
believe
what
you didn't think
comes
you were
in
going to
the
have to
souvenir
crush
box.
the tea leaves
Are
grind
these
them into a paste.
actual like these are the actual teas, or these are like they found the teas and like they
Oh, the teas were
reproduced them?
destroyed.
Okay.
And so
Because they do
these-
taste like colonial-ish.
These are the varietals prepared in the same way. And so this is how it would have tasted
Are
to
you
them.
giving multiple of these for Christmas to like people and stuff?
So I have a party on Friday with a bunch of middle schoolers and high schoolers, and we're going to do this again.
Oh, they'll
So this
love
is
it.
my dry
Perfect.
run.
Put them to
Yeah,
So
don't
the
put the
kids-
bourbon in this time.
That's
Don't
the
put the
one I
bourbon
should
in this
put the
time.
bourbon in. So if you saw my Facebook post asking for teapots, that's why.
Okay.
And Rebecca called
do
me
remember
immediately.
that.
Yeah, she called me immediately. She's going to help me.
Oh, Rebecca? Yeah, amazing.
She's amazing.
She's a go-getter.
Kenny put a note up here, bar rescue at Arnold's tonight. Is that like the bar
Yes.
rescue?
Yeah,
bar
the
rescue
official
is
bar
at
rescue.
Arnold's.
It's a real touchy subject.
I
There's
bet.
some people that love it. There's some people that are like, get them out of here. Yeah, it's like a thing.
Yes.
The guy, the really gruff guy that's kind of heavy set,
Yeah,
that guy is
Jake
coming.
Tapper.
He's coming. Same Jake Tapper that was on CNN or a different Jake Tapper?
No, John Taffer. It's John Taffer. That's
Tapper.
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
That's close.
No relation, James.
It was kind of close. You should have listen, I was at a planning and zoning meeting and I
Yeah.
mispronounced the name of our building official, who is a good friend of mine. I mispronounced it so bad that one of the staff thought, do we have a guy that even works at the city that's helped me? And so then I was in his office this week. He said, yeah, you mispronounced my name. And I watched the video. I'm like, well, how do you pronounce your name? And he said, I was like, oh man, I wasn't close. I really messed that up.
You could
I'm
have done
sorry.
the old psych joke. I've heard it both ways.
No, I just said I blew it and I apologized. And
Yeah.
now I know how to pronounce it, embarrassingly so.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So that's my bone to pick with Walmart and Joy Company, who's making mutant shark dolphin T-balls.
And you know what
Also
they did?
found on
You know what they
Wish.
did about your complaint? They laughed all the way to
They
the bank.
didn't
They
care.
laughed all the way
because
to the
that
bank.
was the only one that was available at Walmart.
So what are
See?
you going to do with all the extra T-balls?
So, well, you're going to pay for the 2 that I bought last night. So those are yours. Those mutant shark dolphin ones are yours. One of them belongs to me and 2 of them belong to my mom.
Okay,
Oh, very
awesome.
nice.
Congratulations, Mom.
Yeah.
How about I
Wonderful.
just pay for all 4 Merry Christmas?
Well, the other ones we bought like forever ago.
I'm not paying for those.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
can
there-
pay for
do you
the
have an
2.
appraisal
Those are
value
If
the
you
on
think
those?
I'm
Yeah.
paying for a used T-ball, you are nuts. I am not doing that.
I'll buy you 4 dolphin sharks.
There's a line, but I'm not crossing that one.
Here are your 2 balls, Mike.
Oh, very nice.
Are those stainless steel?
They're
They
in a
are.
cage.
They
are. Thank you very much.
Are in a cage.
Stainless
Yes,
steel.
they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mutant shark balls.
Oh my goodness.
Confirming Rebecca has your back with the kettles. Yes.
You know,
Putting-
this is the moment where Darcy turns on the show, right?
Yes,
right whenever Amanda
always.
says that.
course.
That's the moment that she turns on the show.
Of course.
I already know when I walk home. Oh yeah, I got out of yoga and I turned on the show for that line.
That's why she's getting a Birkin for Christmas.
So this is the way it comes. If you want to go to the Boston Tea Party Museum shop, there's a lot of great information on their website, but it comes like this if you want to have one of these in your home. It's a fun little thing. I think the teas taast good for
I mean,
by
the
and
box
large.
smells like wood. You
I
can't
know.
go wrong. Yeah,
It smells
definitely a
great.
cedarish.
All right, we do have an update. So on the goodness and the kindness of everyone in the city of St. Augustine, St. Augustine Youth Services
Oh yeah,
you act surprised. It's your story.
I know, but
I love
I
the
didn't know where you
surprise.
go. You have these odd transitions. I'm making sure that you get off the exit properly. I'm ready for Google. I'm like ready to go.
Every transition I have is odd. I just want you to know that.
Step ball change into the
Yes.
story. Here we
All right,
go.
So,
Okay.
yesterday we talked about how many kids, I believe there were 14 youths
You guys, this
that
story.
needed a Santa Claus.
Yeah,
And you announced it on the show.
right.
And tell us what happened.
Okay, so 14 kids, and they all the kids over at Say's, they make this wish list, like a Christmas list, just like any other kid out there. And so there must have been like 40 originally on this list, and they come down to the end of this whole like angel tree moment at Blue Water Jewelers, and there's 14 kids left. So Nicole's doing social media, she's putting it out there, and Say's is sharing, Funky Town Fitness, everybody in town's trying to rally for these 14 kids. I shoot one text message over to the great Greg Smith, who owns Amara Med Spa. And I was like, hey, buddy, thinking, maybe by God's grace, it'll maybe 2 or 3, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, I'll take all 14. I will definitely make sure that all those kids get everything they want for Christmas. Isn't that
amazing.
an incredible? This
Yes.
is what makes our town so unique and special.
That's amazing.
I couldn't do this in New York City.
Yeah.
It was a very cold situation where I lived there. But this town really does give a crap about
Yes.
everything that goes on in this community. That's amazing. I love it.
Yes.
What a rally today. Thank you, Greg. Amazing job.
Greg, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
And for I know there's people out there that listen that might need something over the holidays. And I
Yeah.
hope that you get what you need over the holidays, whether
Yes.
that's family or friends or whatever it is. But those of us that have done well in the community are better than average, right?
Yeah.
There's always people that you can help.
Absolutely.
And this is such a great time to be able to reach out and do that. Whether you do that through SAYS, whether you do that through any of the other nonprofits, whether you do it for the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Right? There's so many things that you can do, and it feels so good to give back. So
Or volunteer your time. Honestly, 1 hour. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable to get in the trenches of our community.
yeah, this is the
yeah.
season when you can help somebody, make them smile. Because, there's a lot of stress this time of year.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stress.
Yes. A lot of stress. I mean, we've got stories, that's very dark stories that are going on, if you can catch my drift. And there's a glimmer of light that comes through, and that's the people that rally around this community. And God bless us all. Honestly, Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, everybody. That's an awesome story.
Absolutely. That's huge, and that's such a blessing.
One
Thank
text
you.
message.
Thank
Didn't
you,
even
guys.
flinch.
That's
Literally
amazing.
within 10 minutes. It was like, oh yeah,
That's
no brainer.
awesome.
I got you. That's so cool.
Everyone hit Troy Blevins up. He just sold his childhood home.
Oh, we know. This is
Yeah.
a moment.
Well,
Is that the
that's
one
kind
that's
of
is
This
that
is
the
the land.
Is that the 20,000 square foot one with the cement swimming pool?
No. That's the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Troy Blevins gave up. Man, he's the richest kid
The
in
childhood home.
DeLand.
This is something he lived there since he was 18 years old.
He was the richest kid in DeLand.
Did you see this house in DeLand?
No.
Okay.
No.
This is a big moment.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not see the
That's
house.
emotional.
It is, yeah. Yeah, Blake went down and helped him, get some things out of there. And but it's a good story, too. I mean, up and out,
Yeah.
It's going to do some great things.
How's the bathroom? Did the bathroom ever get fixed?
I'm not sure, but the king tide might give them an opportunity for some water.
Well, look, at the king tide hits just right tomorrow, they can float in all the supplies that they
Right.
need to finish the bathroom.
It's all
up,
right there.
You don't have to
That's
worry about a
perfect.
truck. You can
Yeah.
just float it all in, get it off the barge, put it right there in the dock that is in front of his house. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
I call that a front porch.
Rebecca, we're trying not to help the situation. We're 100% trying not to help the situation.
I'm sorry, I
Tomorrow
tried.
during trivia, the first question might be, has anyone been dumb enough to sell one of their childhood homes?
Come on.
Poor
Don't
Troy.
do this.
That's very sensitive.
Oh,
You can go there.
I will.
Yes, you will. Both of you go for the jugular. all the
Challenge
time.
accepted. Oh my
Gracious.
gosh. Look, he just beat me to it. I'm trying to sell my mom and dad's house. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got that on the market. So yes,
Did you build it?
My grandfather and dad did a major renovation on it in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
And my mom and dad ended up buying it in 1990 and lived there until they both passed away. So yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I get a little bit of Troy's angst about selling a house that's a family
Yeah.
home.
we said Troy's name so many times that he started tuning in.
Oh, wow. What a blessing.
If you conjure him, he will show up.
Except for the afternoon show. He
So
made
what
that
was
very
that? Was
clear
that
this
14
morning.
times saying his name to get him to tune in?
We just have to go putt and Pete Melfi shows up. You just have to start that Pete Melfi and he's there. What are you guys saying about me?
Yeah,
And
what?
Barbara Jean gets mad at you.
Yes, I know, for not pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
Pete Moss. Didn't you call him Pete Moss?
Pete
earlier
Moss.
today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. I can see that as Van Strange's cousin. Pete
Yeah.
Moss.
Wow.
Pete Moss.
Pete Moss from Bunnell.
All right, you had a quiz for us?
I do. We have some true and
Boston
false
Tea
questions
Party
about
trivia.
the Boston Tea Party.
All right, Amanda, you have done all of the research on the Boston Tea Party.
I mean, I did a little bit. I did a little bit.
That's all of it. That little bit is all of it, right? I've got some knowledge of it from all the
right.
history that I've read because the Revolutionary War period is one of my more favorite times in history.
Oh, really?
Threads.
Threads.
Did you read a lot of John Jake's books growing up?
Rebecca's ready. Rebecca knows Boston Tea Party trivia.
Oh,
They went to the museum.
So right now,
So she knows all of the
it's
stuff.
me and you and
Rebecca,
Rebecca.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
so
Mike, Amanda,
now you gave us a
Rebecca.
wealth of knowledge, so some of these are going to be a little obvious, but we'll do a softball one
Well,
first.
it's okay. Mike doesn't listen to me.
Yeah, the Boston.
Amanda's here. When did she get here? I had no idea. Welcome to the show.
Ellen Walden Boston. Are you kidding me?
I didn't think you were coming back for another couple of weeks.
No, I'm reconsidering.
The Boston Tea
You asked
Party.
for that.
The Boston Tea Party took place in 1773. True or false?
True.
I'm going with true because Amanda said true.
Both on the board. Okay, very nice. Second question. The tea thrown into the Boston Harbor during the protest was exclusively English breakfast tea. True or false?
False.
Okay.
I'm going with false.
Ding! 2-2. Okay.
Mike goes first next.
The tea jumped in the
you
harbor.
answered first both times.
Next one. The Boston Tea Party was a response to the high tax imposed on tea by the British government. True or false?
True.
True.
Okay. Wow, this is very good. Okay. Oh, here's a tough one.
All right.
The Indians, quote unquote, who participated in the Boston Tea Party were actually Native Americans. True or false?
False.
That is false.
Dang it, you guys, I can't even trick you. All right, next one. The Boston Tea Party directly led to the start of the American Revolution.
I mean,
False.
yeah, it's false. It's not direct.
Wrong. True. The event played a significant role in escalating tensions between American colonies and Britain, eventually leading to the Revolutionary War. It was the catalyst.
What happened first, that or the Boston Massacre? See, I think the Boston Massacre was a bigger thing leading to the war.
Oh, wow. Please do
Google
some
it.
fact
I told you, I
checking.
think this may have happened, and then the
that
Boston
might be a
Massacre
game
happened. And
changer
I would
here.
say that, I appreciate the person writing the questions is a Tea Party enthusiast,
Oh,
but I would say the Boston Massacre had a bigger.
it's just ChatGPT. Don't
Boston
get so excited.
Massacre was March 5th, 1770. So it was 3 years before.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
3.5
that could have been a
years before.
catalyst too. Then this may have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Judge Judy.
No.
The Stamp Act did that.
Oh, no idea. There was a Stamp Act.
There was a
Yes.
Stamp Act, yes. Yes, you had to have the stamp of the British Crown on goods to sell it, I believe. And that was really one of the
Troy
ones.
says Mike is wrong.
What?
The Boston Massacre was years before. So your
I would trust
answer is
Troy.
correct.
All right.
Okay. The next one. The tea destroyed during the Boston Tea Party was worth a small fortune in today's money. True or false?
I would say true.
I'm going to say true.
What? Can you give me the number? You both are right, but can you give me the number? What it would be estimated to be
I'll
around?
say $1.2 million,
I think
which was
that's,
like 6 shillings back then.
yeah, I think that's low because I think I heard that number a few years ago. So I'm going to say 2 million.
You both are incorrect. It is only 1 million in today's currency.
Okay, well, you're
I'm
closer.
closer.
Yeah.
That makes me correct, Davey.
Right.
And I'm up 1.
Speaking of which, did you guys see the price of gold
And
today?
Troy was wrong.
Okay,
Rebecca
so-
was right and Troy was wrong.
I'm a jeweler, so this is like sort of my sport. But like, if you follow the price of gold, can you imagine it's $38 an ounce? I'm not kidding you. This is a historic day right now.
That's
the
low,
price of,
right?
No, dude.
No?
That is skyrocketing high. Usually, I mean, before
You're thinking $38
like
a bar.
it used to be
He's
like,
saying
an ounce. Yeah.
An ounce. So I was thinking
As a
'cause
jeweler, they work in the smaller
the
end.
last
yeah.
time I bought a silver coin, it was 33.
Silver's a whole nother gamut. But gold, the price
okay.
of gold, like actual 24
All right.
karat gold. Yeah. Very interesting day, you guys. Next up, I want to see what the stock market's doing. The Boston Tea Party took place at night to conceal the protesters' identities.
Well, that's true.
True.
Okay, nice. Very nice. The Boston Tea Party was the only protest the Tea Act in the American colonies. True or false?
Well, we did hear earlier from Amanda about one in Philadelphia, so I'm a little bit conflicted. But there wasn't a protest. The ships sailed away. I'm going to say that the Boston Tea Party was the only protest.
So you're saying true.
I'm going to say false.
God bless you. Amanda's leading.
No, we're tied.
We're tied again.
Oh, we're tied.
again.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
And,
next.
and I've given Rebecca every question right.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Troy's down one.
Honestly, you better
Yes.
for your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, the term Boston Tea Party was coined immediately after the event occurred. True or false?
I read some quotes. I'm going to say, what are we talking about immediately? Like within a month? I'm going to say true.
I'm going to say false because
Okay.
it takes a while sometimes for nicknames to catch on. I don't think you'll ever hear a nickname like that if you were to have a traumatic event in D.C. shortly afterwards. It
True.
will happen much later.
So you are correct, Mike. It is false. The term was widely used until later. The event was actually initially referred to as the destruction of the tea or similar descriptions.
All right.
So I'm now tied with Rebecca for first place.
Yeah.
She actually missed one.
oh, no.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so here we go. This is the last question. Here we go. The British government successfully punished all the participants of the Boston Tea Party. True or false?
I'm going to say false because there's always one guy that gets away. There's always one
The
guy.
stripper.
Yeah,
that
I'm
managed to
saying
get
false
away.
also.
The answer is false. Correct. Yes. So there is. You'll tally it up.
So
Who wins the tile?
Rebecca had 8, I had 8, and Amanda had 7.
Oh, no tile for Amanda.
7.
Oh, no.
7. There's
know
always
where they
one
are.
guy that gets away. And to
Yep.
prove my point, he's watching the show tonight.
Would that be Troy Blevins?
Yes.
Oh my God.
There's always one guy. He might hide in the bread bin, but he's getting away.
1773. Looks great.
Leaders in the movement were in the Sons of Liberty in Boston, were Sam Adams and
Oh, I know that beer.
Paul Revere and
John Adams.
yes. And so were they involved?
Yes.
They participated that night?
No.
That's what I mean.
No. I think they
No.
might have been part of the planning, but they did not participate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So they definitely planned it, but they purposefully were not there that night.
How do you feel about that?
Well, the reason was because they already had a target on them. The British were trying to take them out.
Oh, I
And
see
so the
this.
Sons of Liberty wouldn't let them participate because they needed plausible deniability for being involved.
So how did they have these clandestine meetings?
There's lots of ways that they did it. There were there
Would
were
they put the scroll
like
in the bird's
attic-
beak and the bird flies to the house?
There were
Yeah.
attic meetings and things like that. But they purposefully had some of the most visible dignitaries of the Sons of Liberty out in public.
They
where
went to a
could be
British
seen.
pub. Just
Yes.
say it. They went to a British
They
pub.
were at a
Was
British
there a
pub,
back?
yes.
There was a back room with the beaded curtain or something.
Well, they were surrounded by redcoats so that they would be seen
In the British
so
pub.
that. And then they also had plausible deniability that like Sons of Liberty couldn't have done it because like the leaders wouldn't have
Interesting.
not been there. So that was part of the reason.
They were tricky. They pulled a
No,
fast one.
I think that that was one of the catalysts. There's a great book, The Patriots. It details the whole history of the American Revolution. There was a guy, Otis, who was part of the Boston community. He was really kind of a precursor to the Sons of Liberty. He was one of the early guys. Unfortunately, he didn't make it in the history books because he went mad.
Otis
about
Mason.
the time that the revolution was going on, he had lost it all. Apparently, he was so upset about the British, he just couldn't contain it anymore.
Couldn't do it anymore.
And he went mad. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
they aren't the greatest. Just saying. The only great thing that came out of that was Harry Styles.
What? We're calling Harry
have
Styles
I
great?
told you my
I don't know.
hashtag? I only
No,
have
what
one
is
hashtag.
it?
Hashtag not my Royals. Right?
love
I mean,
that.
we'll get news
Not your
about
Royals.
the Royals, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they're not my Royals. We fought 2 wars not to have to call them Royals, and I don't really care what happens in their lives.
I know.
Well, didn't you see the wedding of Princess? No, she's not my Royal.
Right.
I'm not watching it. I'm not impressed with them. No. Have you seen the show The Royals? No, they're not my Royals.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm still a little salty about it. 1812.
wow.
Troy's in the comments with all kinds of Paul Revere trivia. Do we know what job Paul Revere had?
To silversmith.
He was a silversmith. And he, one of his apprentices made the bell that hangs in the Trinity Parish bell tower.
Oh, wow.
So he learned at the hands of Paul Revere
Right
and
here.
started his own foundry, and that became one of the premier places that you could get metal work. And so Trinity Parish wanted the best bell that money could buy at the time, and so they got the bell from Paul Revere's apprentice.
That is so cool. Hey, did you see this bell?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They
I
just
took-
refurbished it.
I took the bell out during refurbishment, and our crews put it back during refurbishment.
By hand, or you have to use a crane?
I had a crane,
Okay,
but it was
yeah.
on the back side of the steeple, which made it a little bit more difficult to do. And then also, that's one of the places where we took a picture inside the steeple, and there's an orb in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, this is what they do with the ghost tours. There,
Yes.
you see the orbs, and it's really Jethro with a flashlight in the tree. Like, is this really a real thing? Are we seeing orbs?
There's lots of stories about Trinity being haunted.
Okay.
One Friday the 13th, I was down with my husband, and someone had left a bottle on property that had like a weird stopper and a little bit of liquid in there.
Was it champagne?
And
Sounds
it
like
was not.
classy as well.
Sounds like clay. Sounds like clay. Just saying. It might have been clay.
When Clay becomes involved in the story, because I tell him about it Sunday while we're live streaming the service, and I had gotten the bottle off of out of the little alcove on the old entrance on St. George Street or on King Street, and so the people that we were with, they opened it. So they wanted to know what was in it. And I was like, you don't open it. Like someone leaves some sort of weird offering on church property on
This
Friday
day
the
and
13th.
age,
Like
you
you don't
don't know.
open it.
Right.
And so like they're smelling it and they're like,
No child.
trying to challenge each other to taste it,
Oh,
to try and
no,
figure
no,
out
no,
what
no,
it
no,
is.
no,
You
no,
can
no,
figure
no.
out what the bottle was. Like it's a unique shaped bottle.
This
and the whole
ain't
thing.
John the Baptist.
So
honey.
that Sunday, Clay's alone rewiring stuff, and the cameras are still on. And I have video of it. There's an orb that travels around the church that he sent me, and he was
Send me
like,
the video. I want to see.
You let ghosts out of this bottle on Friday the 13th.
Definitely. It's very
and now
poltergeist.
he's working alone, and it's haunted.
They're back.
Yes.
It wasn't Boone's Farm. It's a square-shaped bottle, but it's not Patron. We can't figure out what the bottle is. I still have the bottle.
There's a way to find out. Bring it in and ask Troy tomorrow.
Definitely.
Perfect.
If Troy doesn't know, no one knows.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right? If Troy doesn't know, no one knows.
Definitely.
My friend was like, I have no idea what liquor this is, and I am the child of alcoholics, so I don't know that this bottle has...
So right away, you guys went to Ghost. You didn't go Holy Spirit? I thought for sure.
I mean, that
could be the moment, honey. Yes.
There's lots of different arguments, so there's...
I kind of don't think the Holy Spirit would be wasting his time in the church. He would be helping people along the way,
Yeah.
right?
Well, maybe just lighting Clay's way.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the Holy Spirit's where there aren't people, because the Holy Spirit's supposed to guide us. So I don't know that you would be in the empty building.
Okay.
So Clay said spirit,
Okay.
not spirits from the bottle. Spirit.
No, right.
Just,
Spirits.
yes.
Singular.
Yeah.
Singular sensation.
Yeah.
No. I have one more question of the day before we go anywhere. Right,
Let's
we got a
bust it.
couple of minutes.
Yep.
And we may just talk about this more. Have you ever got a phantom call? So I got one today from a person who wanted to know information about a project we were working on or worked on years ago, but wouldn't tell me really who he was with. I think he gave me a false name and what company. And I'm like, I don't know anything about you. I'm not giving you any information. But I kind of had fun with the conversation.
Yeah.
So does Troy. He loves
Because it was
this.
like, so
yeah.
just tell me, who are you with? Well, what project do you need information about? Well, I really can't tell you that. Well, I said, wow, I can't tell you either, right? I mean, it was so, and then, well, can I call you back? Sure. I don't know if I'll be able to answer any questions when you call back, but you're more than welcome to call me back. I was like, this is crazy.
Wow. So
Yes, I know.
what kind of information was he trying to get from
They
you?
wanted to know some details about how we did some drainage on a project. And it's like, well, he said, I'm in Arizona. I said, well, what do you need to know the information about? He said, we're not like Arizona, right? You do understand that we're in a tidal basin.
Right.
And so trying to do what we do here in Arizona probably won't work. So I was kind of...
So you didn't want to give him false information, like use a fabricated half-inch pipe and like put it at an angle and like nothing like that. Okay.
No, I wanted to give him... And I did. I just told him, I said, you have to understand, we're tidally influenced here. It affects everything with drainage. So until you figure out that, I said, you can drain whatever you want to, wherever you want to downtown. But if the water in the intercoastal is higher than the drains, nothing goes in the drains.
Yeah.
You got to check the flapper.
It's called gravity. I didn't want to tell him it was called gravity because I didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
So I kind of kept that one to myself.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten random calls from like foreign countries, and I always screenshot it because I've gotten so many calls from North Korea. I'm like, not today, Satan. Like, nothing good is
What
coming from this
happened
phone
there?
call.
What did you say, Amanda?
I didn't answer it.
They are the type that you said
I just
something.
screenshotted it.
Yeah, they're coming after you,
Yeah,
Pikachu.
well,
I'm saying.
I have one quick
They
one.
can try it.
They'll call. They're a telemarketer, right? And I'll say, wait a minute, you're not a telemarketer selling me something. Oh, no, I'm not selling anything. To which I either go, well, then there's no need for me to talk to you because there's nothing you're selling.
Yeah.
Have a good day, right? Or I'm not selling anything, and then I wait for the next question. Well, what do you do? Well, we do this. Do you give it away free? Oh, no, we sell it. You sell it. Now, I cannot start a relationship with a lie. And you just started this relationship with a lie. So I have to hang up, right? I have to go now.
Nice.
Those are two of my favorites.
That was a
'cause
nice
it just,
move.
It just kind of gets you in the, what, you're not selling me anything. No, I'm not.
Can't believe you pick up for these.
I don't pick up.
My phone tells me.
They will occasionally get through my call screener at the office.
Oh, do they really?
They occasionally get through. The call screener knows usually just put them to voicemail. But occasionally somebody will get through. But it's really funny. The ones that my cousin who works at the office upstairs, Mark, they'll call and say, well, I'm supposed to talk to Mike Davis right now, and I need if he's not there, give me his cell phone number. And he's like, the last guy that gave him a cell phone number was fired. I don't want to get fired. I can't give the number. Mark just said, is the boss coming in? The last guy that asked the boss when he was coming back in got fired. That was yesterday.
He's
I'm not going to be the next guy.
I like Mark's angle.
I was like,
That's
Mark
great.
just has a ball with him too. So yes.
So a lady that works at our church, she always picks up. And she just plays so dumb and just strings them along because she figures that the more time they spend talking to her, the less time they're scamming somebody else.
That's true.
And so she just wastes their time. And when I was still working there on the regular and I was always with her, she would put it on speaker just so I could hear. And she would get these guys so mad. At one point, she got them to the point that they thought she was going to give their social security number. And she's like, oh, I'm so excited. I don't have a social security number. And he's like, no, you give me yours. She's like, I don't have one. I thought you were giving me one. That was going to solve my problem.
Yeah.
And he just starts chewing her out. You make fool of me. You make fool of me.
Of course.
Oh, my word.
I had a guy that would call, this is 25 years ago, and he would start with a really stupid joke. It wasn't off color. It was just stupid. And that was his lead in. And he would always want to sell building materials. Well, we buy everything local because we work for the local people. We worked for Henry Hall, who owned Ace Hardware at the time. We worked for the Warnicks, who owned Warnick's Lumberyard. I know all those people. We work for them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're saving me $100. If I don't buy it from them, I lose a future sale worth tens of thousands of dollars in profit, right?
Of course.
So I kept trying to be polite to this guy. And then after a couple of years, I realized this just ain't going to work. Yeah. So one night I'm doing a computer backup, which is going to take a while, and he calls. And I was lonely. I got to tell you. It was late. It was like 7 o'clock at night.
You needed to talk to somebody.
You called the wrong guy on the wrong
so
day.
I asked her, like, hey, I'm the only one here. I'd love to hear what you have for sale because we got money to spend. It's the end of the year. So he would go into detail about what he had to sell. Well, what's the price on those ladders? Oh, they're $100 a piece. I'm like, oh, my God. We just bought 20 of those the other day, and we paid $110. I'm so pissed. What else do you have to sell? And then occasionally I would put him on hold, right, just for an indiscriminate amount of time and then come back. I got through 3 or 4 items before he realized. I had him on the phone for 20 minutes, and then he realizes that I'm being a jackass.
Yeah.
And he threatens to kick my rear end.
Oh, no way.
And I'm like, buddy, I've been telling you for 5 years not call here.
Yeah.
You know what the address is. You meet me at the front door anytime, and I'll be more than happy to kick your ass.
Yes.
I said, because I'm so mad at telling you not to call politely, I had to do this to you.
Ayata!
That was the last time he called.
You were like, walk into this. Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
I do have the bell that was made by Paul Revere's apprentice. So that is the bell in
Look
Trinity,
at that.
Fully restored. 1842, I believe, is the date
Beautiful
on it.
silhouette. I love how it slopes out. Very nice.
What year was it? It was 1842?
I think it was 1842.
And he was Paul Revere
apprentice, yeah.
So was he like 4 during the Revolutionary War, or was it much later in Revere's life? He must have been the apprentice.
I'm sure it was later.
I'm doing the math in my head about
I'm sure it was
42,
later.
right? If you're 42 years old in 1842, you're a pretty old dude.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's not like, you like made it.
Right.
But
You
he
survived
also,
pestilence, plague, war, childbirth, all of those things.
Right.
he also, I don't think he was giving birth. It was way before 2016.
Well, I understand, but he survived his own birth.
He was probably old at that point.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Well, that bell was beautiful.
it
Huge
is beautiful.
balls.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
That was awesome. All right, we have had a phenomenal show.
Yay!
Some of us are high as a kite from caffeine, but
That
we're
did
going to be
happen.
back tomorrow anyway.
Phew.
Join the morning show. Davey, what's up tomorrow morning? Perfection is up tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
Perfection is up tomorrow morning. And you guys join that Pete Moss guy in the morning. This is the Mike Davis Show. We'll be back tomorrow.
Bye.
That was fun.